One thing I like to do is take some free plugins and put them to the test and see if I could actually use these free plugins in serious music. And I also like to invite some friends and see if they can do the same thing, or if any of us struggle and these free plugins aren't actually that useful. There's a lot of talk about free plugins being as good as paid plugins, but are they actually? And which ones are? Definitely not all of them, but what about these three? First of all, we have Mikro Prism, which comes with Complete Start, is a reactor synth. Personally, I prefer to use it in Complete Control because that gives you a way nicer overview over the presets that come with Mikro Prism. It's like a physical modeling synth. The next plugin we're using is GreenWave, which is not something I would usually choose for these challenges because it is still in beta, but I think we can make an exception for this one because MreenalMams chose it.
I choose the plugin GreenWave. The GreenWave synth is made by a fellow Magpie Pirates, Replicat. They have many other plugins on their website, so you should go and show some love and support to them by buying all of their plugins.
It's a 2-oscillator subtractive synth that has pretty interesting oscillators in it, like Moon Sign, Game Dude Square, Pulse If, that you can shape with these oscillator parameters. Doesn't come with a lot of presets, this one, so with this one we had to do some sound design by ourselves, I expect. We'll see what the other guys did. And the last plugin we're going to use is not actually a plugin. Instead, we decided to go with a sample pack for our drums. I was thinking Cymatics must have a free sample pack, and if I go to drum kits, the only free option they have is the Bang Hip Hop drum kit. So that's what we ended up using. Let's meet the people I invited for the video. First of all, we have MreenalMams. He has an interesting channel. He seems to play a lot of different instruments, make a lot of music, not as focused on producing, more so on making music. Cool channel, check that one out. And I want to say welcome back to Ifeelvoid. He was in an earlier video like this already, and I'm very happy to have him back on the channel. Also check out his channel. He makes cool beats, and he also makes some cool, more discussion-focused videos talking about stuff like what happens if somebody steals your beats.
My name is Mams and I make weird music. But wait, this is not my channel. It says here, Cymatics Sound Factory. And what does the title of the video read? It says 3 free plugins challenge? So first, I made a riff using a preset on the Mikro Prism synth. After that, I scanned the hip hop drum kit sample pack and found some one-shot drum samples. I laid them on to an Ableton drum rack. However, I was kinda disappointed at the beginning to not find any tom sounds. But as I dug deeper, I found some very interesting effects and percussion sounds. So I decided to use those instead of toms. I made 2 different beats with them. One with regular hi-hats and another one a more open beat with the ride cymbals. All this was done in Ableton's session view. So after this, I made an arrangement using those 2 different beats. The Mikro Prism riff went throughout the whole arrangement. Then for the solo, I took GreenWave. I don't really know what I did, but I made a patch which I was kinda happy with. I was going for a very Keith Emerson kind of vibe for it. Then I just did a few takes of the solo until I got a satisfactory one. I did not want to use anything else for this challenge as I wanted to very strictly keep it within these 3 elements. So after that, I just did some basic mixing and my song was complete. much, Cymatics, for inviting me for the song challenge. I can't wait to listen to your song as well as Ifeelvoid's song. But until then, stay untuned.
This is Ifeelvoid, and I'm here to do my beat breakdown. To start off, I made the tempo 90 beats per minute. It just felt right. First thing I started with here, this MIDI right here. That's a Reactor 6 preset, Little Big Atari, and all I did was EQ it without the EQ. Added this on top of it, and I believe this is another Reactor instrument. And I EQ'd it the same way I EQ'd the other one. I thought this would be like a very fitting background sound to put on top of the melody. And I used the Cymatics Bang 808s. For that one, I did a lot of stuff over here in Ableton's pitch oscillator. This is only useful for Ableton people, but like, yeah, basically you can go in here and you can turn on an oscillator in the sampler. Basically, it'll just layer whatever type of oscillator you want. So I chose a sine wave and I turned it up a little bit and I messed with the coarse to make the pitch lower, because if you do, like say you put it on 1, the pitch will be high, so you just want to did that, and then I added a little bit of stereo separation with the spread knob. I added the hats, threw it on there. I pitched it down 10 semitones. I also added the Cymatics Bang FX. Another hi-hat to layer it. For the hi-hat, I just added auto pan. There weren't any lows, but a lot of times I just like to use this EQ and cut out the lows anyway. Force a habit. And last but not least, I stacked the drums. These are all the Cymatics default drums too from the kit. This is the kick, and then this is the first clap, and this is the first snare. And then I hit saturator with a soft clipper. Right, last but not least. So for the hook part, I did a little bass with the GreenWave synth. And I just have it playing at this part right here. And boom, that's the beat. Yeah, that's the beat.
So let's get into my production. I started out with this Mikro Prism preset called Synthetic Bells that sounds like this. And I created this melody. I then used a second Mikro Prism instance that sounds like this. For this, I adjusted the lithic piano preset a bit. I came up with some chords that fit with this first melody. And of course, I used the Bang drum kit by Cymatics. I made a beat that sounds like this. And this is pretty standard stuff here. The only thing that is quite interesting, I think, is I used this snare sample right here. And to make something a bit ghost note-like. I used the same snare sample, but I made it quieter and I pitched it down slightly. Actually, I slowed it down using the tape mode, which makes it lower and slower. If we accentuate that even more, it would sound like this. So I just made it a tiny bit softer if we hear those together. I think that's pretty cool. Yeah, and I put a bit of a stereo generator on this one. And then I added GreenWave as a bass, only using one oscillator, sun sine. Sounds like this. With the built-in saturation, I think. If we go to the effects section, yeah, there's some overdrive on here. Pretty good sounding, I think. When that A section repeats, I'm adding a little flute sound I made with GreenWave that sounds like this. Panned a bit to the left in context. Like a counter melody. And then we get into the B section, which I wanted to be a bit chiller, even though this section is already quite chill. I kept the groove the same. But the melody parts, the chord parts, are quite a bit reduced. Just the same keyboard as before, playing a different pattern. And then I added a new bass instead of the GreenWave bass. Now we have an 808 from the band kit that I dragged into this sample 1, which allows you to pitch it from note to note. And also you can make some slides with it and stuff. I think that sounds pretty good. I didn't even put any interesting effects on it. I think this 808 already sounds good as it comes in the sample pack. Cowbell. We have a new lead synth that comes from GreenWave. This is actually just this bass patch that we had before. Played higher. I added. Yeah, it's pretty much the same thing. Just with a vibrato and chorus. And a saturator and some reverb. Yeah. And then sometimes I'm adding in this new Mikro Prism that plays this metallic pan sounding thing. Just as a little ear candy kind of. From that it goes back into the A section. Just I'm doubling the lead with this GreenWave lead that was introduced earlier. And now they play together. And then I'm putting the B section again, and I'm not quite sure where to take it from here. I tried to add some singing, but also my voice wasn't really in a very good condition to add vocals this past week. So I'm leaving it like this for now. All I did was put some vocoder vocals into it. And yeah, you'll hear that when we hear the whole track. I'm not sure if I like it with or without vocals better. Let me know what you think. Let's listen to the whole track. yeah, that's my track. I really hope you enjoyed this. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure to check out MreenalMams channel as well as Ifeelvoid's channel. Thanks again very much to those two for being part of this video. You can check out my music on Bandcamp and Spotify and wherever you listen to music. Links in the description. This track to me is not quite finished yet. Let me know if you think I should finish it. I got some other videos in the pipeline, so for December I think you can expect some more videos. And if you like the content, make sure to subscribe. Really motivates me, and it tells the algorithm that maybe more people should watch these videos, and that would be really cool. That's the video. Comment your favorite track of the video in the comments below, but be respectful. See you again soon. Bye.
Okay, bye.